Oh, the door right here.
Door's right there. This is the door. You see me here dipping, painting, dipping, painting. Probably like this, so we can get super zen from the beginning. Dipping.
Zoom out. Slow.
Like right near the end. You see, clone me walking in front like this, just dragging the Christmas tree. The camera follows me that way. And before I get to set it up, it cuts to the next spot.
There it is. What are we here to talk about? My feelings? Not the one? Well, I guess it's one and the same. I have a note right here. It goes, not the one video budget. Door, $20. Clock, $15. Mirror, $0. It was my old bathroom mirror. Christmas tree one, $0 off Craigslist. My mom found it. And Christmas tree number two, $0 off the side of the street. Matches, $0. Took them from my neighbor. Lighter fluid, $0. My parents had it in the garage. And wardrobe, $0. I've had it for years, so I guess it costs money. But the not the one video should have absolutely never happened at all. Flashback to January of this year. God, it feels like it was so long ago. Give JT a call. Let him know again, I have no budget. Let's do this thing. This will be your first music video with me. Screw the vlog stuff. Let's really make it happen. We get the general idea down, like these are kind of the shots that we want to do. JT is practicing shots. He's sending me different shots of like different things that we can do that are going along with the concept. We figure out it's going to be a 6-day shoot. We're going to go back to Virginia for the majority of the time. It was just the best of both worlds as far as concept and budget go. So flash forward to a couple days before the shoot is supposed to start, and I get a call while I'm at home in New York City and JT's still in LA about the slight possibility that I might have the chance to open up on a tour in Europe doing my own music. So with this possibility, deep in the darkest depths of my big dome, meet JT on night one. We wake up for day one and go location scout. I think we go find like 3 different places, go somewhere deep into Suffolk. We're looking at big buildings. At this point, the very beginning concept that we had worked on for over a month was still what we were going to do. And we went and saw all these locations that day, and we were super prepped to go into the next day and shoot. And little did we know that we weren't going to use any of that. We are currently location scouting in not just my home state, but like where I grew up. This is honestly, number one, just aesthetically the best place for me to shoot this video, but this is also the first song on my first ever project. So I wanted to come back to where it all started. And we're looking at like 3 locations right now. A lot of just frames, whereas Shelter was really over the top production. I just want this to be very aesthetically pleasing, and I want the image to kind of portray the feeling of the song more so than all the crazy movement and set changes and money. This would be cool for the door here. Here's the door to anywhere you would want. So the door you see in the video was, I think, taken for like $20 off Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. And actually my dad is the one who took it to his office and painted around it the black like it is in the cover art. And then when I got back, we made it so that it could stand on its own.
No budget this year, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta wait for that deal. Let's go!
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait it now for something.
Now, before I really go on in this story and get to the part where we shoot it, keep in mind this is super late January in Virginia. It is the absolute coldest January that Virginia has seen in decades. Probably 12 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit while the sun is out. So on the first day, this is after the location day, after we've set up the door, we go back to one of the spots that we thought that we were going to use. And I get there and I decide that I don't want to use it at all. So we go even further back. We have to walk everything a mile into the woods and see the big electrical towers, and that's where we set up on day one. Now we had to make it quick too, because I knew I wanted to shoot the final shot with the flames and the trees at the same location in a different part during the golden hour, like blue hour. Poor JT is freezing. I don't think he can feel his hands at this point, but we are coming up on our last shots in this section, which is with the tree. We're gonna drag it through with the Ronin, because I think that I got the drone shot that I wanted, which is through this expansive, thorned out, foresty, dead area. The beautiful thing is we're burning the Christmas tree tonight. We're burning Sweet Tannenbaum A. We're burning that tonight. It poured down rain all day, so there's absolutely no way that anything else could catch on fire. We're burning it right next to a puddle. We're gonna burn it, tip it over, and it'll be done. But yeah, that's it for right now. We're gonna get this crazy Ronin shot and be done with this cold in the middle of the woods area. Now we're coming up on golden hour after we've gotten all the shots. But the one thing I didn't account for was that we were twice as far into the woods at this point. All of our hands were numb, and we had to drag everything back out to set a Christmas tree on fire. Oh, good. No. We only had one shot to set this Christmas tree on fire. There were 2 Christmas trees. I needed one for the rest of the shoot, and this one had to go up in flames. So after the wind blowing the door down countless times, and after drenching the whole tree in lighter fluid, we finally got that sucker on fire. How am I gonna light it? So much wind. So now that this has happened, I sprint to the car, grab my guitar, and it's time to get the money shot, like the most important shot to bring this whole thing home. Now in the same split second of events, I go to the car, grab my guitar, can't find a chord, can't find my pick, obviously don't have the Bluetooth set up to listen to the music, to do the solo to the music, can't find the pick, grab a quarter, grab my camera, sprint to my dad, try to get the settings right.
Hurry up!
I knew I had a drone in the air, knew that JT was gonna get a great shot, and I knew I wanted a third camera, and that was my only choice at this point, and he killed it. So about 30 seconds into filming this Christmas tree with a 20-foot flame engulfing it and shooting in the air, we hear a bong, and lights, horn activated, cops have come.
We need to knock that over and put it out. Doing a music video. Yeah, you got a permit to be out here doing this? No, sir. Need some IDs from everybody. Let's get that put out.
No way. Is that for us? For us? I don't know, this might not be a regular pull-off. Oh my God. Dang, now I gotta frame myself again. So as I was telling the story of cops showing up to the music video shoot, literally the same cop horn just went off behind the van. So yeah, this tree is engulfed in flames. And what happens? The cops show up. Now the cops show up, the drone is buzzing, see flashlights, and their lights turn on. What the hell are y'all doing? And my dad whips the camera around, throws it in the car, sprints towards this 15-foot flame, knocks it down with his bare hands, and drags it with his man hands straight to a puddle to put it out, while the cop is literally sitting there with a flashlight asking us what the hell we're doing.
Oh, gonna back that up. Let's get that down out of the air.
So yeah, that was the first day of shooting. Now the cops, they ended up just taking our IDs. I think we said, my dad was like, it's a music video. I said it's for JT's school project, which I guess technically it could have been. They were cool about it because obviously they were searching for gunshots. So they took our names down just in case and let us go on thank God. But that's not where the day ended. I got home that night and checked my email. So when I opened my email, I saw another one about the tour, and it was basically just asking if I'm in. And I'm like, yeah. I wake up on day 2 with all these amazing shots planned, but I checked my email, you know, just in case there's been any update on the tour stuff. You know, around breakfast time, there's nothing. As soon as I get done with breakfast and we start packing up to go do shots, that's when I get the email in. I get one final, "Are you in? I want to make sure," but this time it tells me that the tour is in Sweden, that's where it starts, in 3 days. So I end up booking an overnight bus for the following day from Virginia all the way to New York so that I can get to New York and go straight to the airport and catch a flight to Sweden, and then JT just has to live in my apartment for the next couple days. So that day was supposed to be a sunrise shoot anyway, and I figure around 3 p.m. is when I got everything finalized and done for the tour. So everything that we had planned for that day was null and void. We had to figure something else out. But luckily, JT and my brother were on it. Yes, my little brother is involved at this point too. Anybody and everybody that could help was involved in this video. And they were getting shots set up in my parents' backyard. In the woods behind my parents' fence in their backyard was where we shot on day 2. So we get into the woods, we get all these beautiful shots. It is very freezing. All of us are physically and mentally rigid, and we get this beautiful drone shot and get this, we broke the drone. That's what we did. We broke the drone in the woods, and the next day was supposed to be all drone shots in North Carolina. So after we cut it and we started looking for propellers, we also decided, now that we've cut down some days, we should see what kind of footage we're actually going to use. And it just wasn't working out in my head at this point. It felt like some pieces were missing. So at that point, we decided to go back out in single-digit temperatures and get the night shots.
I think that's the sweet spot right there.
So I should come into the frame.
Yeah.
So camera A and the drone were operated by JT.
Hold it up to your face real quick. A little to your side. High up. Okay, now regular.
And camera B was actually operated by my brother, who has absolutely no shooting experience and crushed it. And the car was driven by my dad, and that's how we got all the follow shots with the Ronin. And at the same time that we were doing this, speaking of the amazing support system that I had, my mom had found drone propellers that would be prepared to be picked up the next day for us to get all the drone shots that we wanted. Now enter day 3, but also keep in mind that later this day, I have a bus from Virginia to New York overnight, but I'm spending the day in North Carolina. It was gonna get hectic. So JT and I hop in the car, drive down to North Carolina to the desert area, and just kind of blindly hop out and hope for the best from what we saw on Google Maps. And I don't know if you've ever looked on Google Maps before, but the distances don't look as long as they actually are. So 2 miles later, we were out there with the door, the tree, the camera equipment, the mirror, the clock, and first-degree hypothermia.
Are you f***ing kidding me?
Not only was this wind bad for the tree and blowing over the door, but like I said, this was dedicated drone day. And the drone that we needed to go up and be steady so that we could get all the clone shots. It was hectic. I still don't know how JT did it. I don't think JT knows how JT did it. I don't think anybody knows how JT did it, but he did do it. And I'm very impressed because it was very gusty that day.
It is so freaking cold, man. Especially on this ridge, all this wind.
But at this point, it was coming on sunset again, and I realized that we weren't going to make it back into the bus if we had to carry all the stuff back out, especially with numb hands. So enter my guardian angels again. My dad and my brother drive all the way to North Carolina, not only to help us take all the stuff back to the car, but also to shoot more B-roll. And not only did they shoot B-roll, the clip of my brother doing the B-roll going, I think it's good, is probably one of my favorite things, right behind my dad grabbing the burning bush.
Move to your left a little bit more. There you go, buddy.
It's been recording.
But we also used my dad for some test shots. So we finish up there, bring all the gear back to the car. I have the light on me now. Sorry, it's getting dark. Bring the gear back to the car and start driving back to Virginia to catch the overnight bus from Virginia to New York City. Now, did we get the shots? We don't know at this point. All we know at this point is that it's done, and we have no choice but that it's done, and hopefully we can take something from it. So we get home, pack, get to the bus, hop on the bus, and ride overnight about 7 hours to New York City. Now, in my head, in the ideal situation, I was going to sleep, but the people behind us were talking politics the whole time. And I actually even got it on video because it was so nuts.
I'm saying if the whole bus had to go with you.
I don't know what the f these people do, but I know what I do.
Where you think?
I could go anywhere.
So then you think any city is just
I can go
equally.
anywhere.
So you go to Philippines, yo. It's just,
Yeah, if I wanted to go to the Philippines.
So we get back into New York City around 8 a.m. and took my Uber around traffic, somehow got to the airport with 91 minutes to spare, checked in my bag, and finally, for the first time in like 72 hours, had the chance to exhale and go, wow, we did it. Like, that actually happened. So I really wanted to give you the background of this video because I guess when I did my first video, I had kind of a misconception of I have this big story that I want to tell in this huge concept, so I guess the budget has to match it. I mean, when I say no budget, we legitimately had no budget. There's no lighting, there's no extra lighting, there's no extra cameras. We both owned these cameras. Like, these are personal cameras. We didn't rent lenses. It was just an idea. And it was an idea in an incredible support system and a true example of what can happen when a band of people come together on a very strong idea and will stop at nothing, really, to see it through. Honestly, I 100% dedicate this video to JT and my family because it 100% could not have happened without them. It really does take a village to raise a child, and I felt like this concept to this video and this story that I wanted to tell was my child. And this is one of those things I don't want to explain what everything means in the video. JT and I did hide a lot of symbolism in there. There have been some great theories online, and some of them are right and some of them are not. And it's really cool to see. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, you don't need a budget, just an idea. Yeah, that's the story of Not the One. It was a heck of an experience. I can't believe it's out, and I can't wait to start teasing the new music. As I said, I really have no way to end this video. That's it, go watch Not the One.
You're not the one for me. Sweet Tannenbaum sitting in my living room took away her freedom and tore down the forest she is from. Wildfires burning her desires. Now there's ashes on the floor. My hands are dirty and I'm feeling numb.